Hi Rita, how are you? Well done, keeping going, working so hard. I've asked Emily to send you the reference for the link for an extra pack. That's fantastic. I'm not sure what the essay titles will be. If we'll kind of, she should send you some to start with. Otherwise, I think we might be at the stage where we say to you, choose your own titles from our list. So I'll give you a list. If she doesn't, just let me know. Let's keep in touch. Also, please can you start a new email thread? This one has so many messages on, it's really hard for me to find the correct essays. This is our problem, not your problem, but there's too many in this thread. So if you can start a new thread, that'd be amazing. So some people believe children that commit crime should be punished. Others think the parents should be punished instead. Discuss both views. So very clear on that planning. Well done. Children should be punished. They should be punished. They learn to learn from their mistakes. Okay, parents, because their children follow what their parents teach them. Because children follow what their parents teach them. Okay, yeah, nice. It's sometimes thought that youngsters who commit a criminal act ought to be penalised. Others believe that parents should be responsible for their children's behaviour and therefore should plead guilty. Now, it's not be plead, it's not a passive, should plead guilty on their behalf. The parents didn't do the crime, but so I think you might have to say here on their behalf. Lovely, very good. However, I would argue that every person in society should be responsible for their action regardless of their age, and children often learn more from their mistakes when they're disciplined. You don't need however there. If you have however, it suggests you don't think the parents should be. Okay, you don't. So you're thinking that everyone should be. Okay, all right, you can have that. Sorry, Rita. However, I would argue that every person in society should be responsible for that, and regardless of age, and children often learn more from their mistakes when they are disciplined. Good. Okay, really nice intro. Fantastic language coming in here about crime, really high level, super. It's often thought that youngsters, you need an although here, because you're giving me a contrast. Sometimes thought that youngsters, although others, believe. Otherwise, absolutely perfect. It's often believed that parents are responsible. It's often argued, we can go stronger than believed, that parents are responsible for the upbringing of their children and they are considered to be role models. Good. This means any mistakes that youngsters make, we don't do a mistake, we make a mistake. Watch out for the collocation there. So any mistakes that children make are due, plural, are due to the lack of proper guidance or biological guidance, meaning parents should be blamed for any unwanted behaviour of their children against the community. Okay, well done. I don't think you, this means, and then here, meaning. I don't think you need, I know you're developing, and it's a brilliant way of developing, but I don't think you want to develop with the same words. So I love the development. It's really adding quality. But instead, so that. Think of doing it in a different way. I'll put it in a different colour. So add that to your list of sort of words to develop. So that parents should be blamed. For instance, any petty crimes committed by youngsters, such as, you don't need that. Just don't need it. Grammatically, don't need it. Such as any petty crimes which are committed by parents should be the ones who have to pay the children's faults, as young children from an early age do not know right from wrong, and they think what they are doing. Change that to these actions are interesting and fun. So I'm taking out they because it's more sophisticated to put these actions, but we've got a problem on the grammar here. For instance, any petty crime committed by youngsters, such as shoplifting, picking up, should be, you've got to have a verb in here because this is your subject. Any petty crime, I need a verb here, should be acknowledged by the parents who should be acknowledged by the parents, comma, who have to pay for their children's faults. And then you're okay. What's happening is because you're starting with any petty crime. So any petty crimes committed by youngsters, such as should be acknowledged by parents. So here's your subject. Okay, let's do it in the blue. And then here's your verb, should be acknowledged by parents. Okay, so I had to change that around a little bit. It's a very lovely sentence, but you can see how complex this sentence is. So you've got, this is your subject verb, but you've got crimes, you've got a subclause to describe the crimes, then you've got an extra clause to talk about the parents, and then you've got an extra clause even to talk about the thing. So amazing, Rita. Almost too complicated. Did I ever say that? Almost too complicated. Be careful if you're going into that kind of structure that you are really happy about it. For this reason, parents are the ones need to learn a lesson, so they teach. Absolutely. Good. Very nice. Learn a lesson. You could also have be held to account. I don't know if you know that, but be held to account is very nice. However, punishing parents instead of children is only a temporary measure, meaning that children may reoffend. Again, don't use that too often. I mean, yes, we love it, but don't use it all the time. Yeah, you could just use so. May reoffend, infinitive, over and over again. Yeah, as they do not find it serious when they're. Yeah, or as they do not personally suffer. Yeah, so finding it serious, yeah, but I think this is more specific. Children should be responsible for their actions, even if they're not fully developed. Good, and there should be stringent punishment. We don't need A, it's just punishment in general. For those who commit a crime, since they only learn from their faults if they're taken seriously by. Lovely grammar. If they're taken seriously by, the seriously comes in the middle. For example, crime rate in France among children has declined significantly over the last few years as the French government has adopted a new policy to educate children who commit an offence towards their community. Absolutely fantastic writing this, Rita. Super, super amazing. May learn better than they are punished, since only taking, I don't want to repeat punishment, taking personal, may teach them a lesson. Okay, I wouldn't repeat punishing in the same sentence. Yeah, that is your best by miles. Go and do that in your exam. Okay, that is fantastic. Can you do this in 40 minutes? How are you on time, Rita? Okay. If you're short on time, just take out a little bit on this big example here. But look at that. Frequent error-free sentences. The only place we got in a muddle, or I got in a muddle reading, so that grammatically it was tricky, was here because it was so long, that sentence. So if you've got a super, super, super long one, break it up into 2 sentences. That's safer. Otherwise, absolutely excellent. Really like that. Very good. So cinema attendance, here we go. We've got a line graph, changes over time, so we can have the dynamic language here. Quite long, yeah, you can cut if you're short of time. How many individuals visited the cinema? Overall, more who were aged between 44 and 54 went to cinemas than the other age groups recorded throughout the period provided. Good. The number of people who visited cinemas fluctuated for all. Okay, good. So we've got went, visited. How else could we say it? Enjoyed watching movies. Okay. What else could we say? Watched a film, cinema, or watched cinema screenings. I'm just kind of thinking a little bit, if we ever need to kind of change the vocab a bit, what could we be saying? The number of individuals, the number was the highest among the 4 age brackets at just over. The number of individuals enjoying cinema films, we have to put who these individuals are, otherwise we don't know. I mean, yeah, we do, but we don't. So individuals enjoying cinema films was the highest among, at just over 35, whereas it was just above 25 and 15 for those good. Long. After increasing to approximately 40 for those aged, the figure then declined. Good. Similarly, the figure rose to about 35 for those, and then decreased. Okay. The number of people aged increased. Number of people, again, you needed something, enjoying movies in cinemas or paying to watch a film in a cinema. You need something there. Increased significantly from just over 10 to around 20. So rather than this having to repeat this all the time in the older category, watch out. I know we talked about this the other day when there's so much data, but watch out for repeating. It's adding a lot to your word count. For older cinema goers, you could put. Cinema goers. This might not seem very much, but this will pick you up little extra marks on the vocabulary. It shows the flexibility and the confidence you have on the vocabulary. The most age categories, good, well done. I mean, your task ones are really, really good. Very happy with those. So the only thing I'd add here is think of the vocab element. This is still 25% the vocab element of this response. So think of the vocab element and what could you do? What magic could you do there? Okay, really good, Rita. I'm having my second COVID jab this afternoon. Woo! I will, I'll talk to you really soon. Okay, take care.